Good morning. We got some rain, and I had kind of a day off. I mean, we worked, but it was mostly computer work yesterday, so no video. Sorry for that, but we're finding some stuff to do for you guys today. So let's get into it. So yesterday, I spent a lot of time doing some post-calibrations on the combine, making sure that our combine yield monitor data matched the grain cart scale data, or actual scale data, where we had loads that we hauled stuff in. So we've got all our records updated, and I'm really happy with that. Also went and got a haircut. Needed one. But I wanted to go through today and talk about harvest 2023, a little bit more fall harvest 23. We're going to leave the wheat out of this, but let's go through harvest by the numbers here, shall we? Now, without getting too specific into actual acres or yields, I'm going to do my best to kind of show how harvest went for us this year. So we started harvest on October 1st. That is really, really late for us. Well, I shouldn't say really, really late, but it's late. There's only one other time that I can remember starting in October and not September, and that was 2019 when nothing got planted until June. So that was a little bit unusual, a late harvest, or late start to harvest. Now that said, once we got rolling, we got through the beans fairly well. We did have some rain there in October that slowed us down a few days. Was not like last year where we had an extremely dry October and we just went every day. So it took us a little while to get through them. We ended up finishing the soybeans on October 24th. But between the 1st and the 24th, we worked, well, we spent 14 days combining beans. That's all, plus the 1 day for double crops, I guess. So, but we did all the first crop beans in 14 days, which is not bad. Like, if we can do our beans in 2 weeks, that's really good. The issue was that we were rained out for a fair number of days there, and so it was actually 3.5 weeks total calendar time to get them done. We did spend 1 day doing corn in that stretch where we switched back and forth. The day before we finished the beans, we ran a field of corn off from there. So that would have been the 23rd of October. We started our corn harvest, finished it on November 13th. That is a heck of a run for doing corn to get it done that quick. So we ended up running corn for 19 days, and they were dang near consecutive. I mean, we had the 1 day that we ran beans in there, and then we had, I think, maybe 2 rain delays, but we worked every day in November, and it was just nonstop go, go, go. So that was really good. Corn harvest flew by. While we're talking about statistical stuff like that and how long it was taken, so we spent 33 days in the combine total this fall. On the S780, we put 280 engine hours this fall, which is not too bad. We had a few more from wheat harvest, but that's about our normal for what we put on a combine in a year. We burnt 4,834 gallons of fuel, according to the John Deere JD Link telemetry data that I can find on the Ops Center. So quite a bit of fuel, but when you start doing the math on how many acres we covered, that's not terrible. In the 8RX running grain cart, we put 193.5 hours on that tractor for grain cart use. That's fine with me. That's a good deal. Burned about 900 gallons of fuel in that, 904 it said. So it doesn't take much fuel to run a grain cart. Let's do a little more math. 4834 plus 904 means we spent, we burnt 5,738 gallons of fuel. Last fill up I know of, and I know we got one since, but the early fall fuel fill up, we paid $2.88 a gallon. 2.88 means we spent $16,500-ish on fuel for the combine and grain cart, and that does include transport time, road time, not just acres harvested time. So that's all the fuel burnt through both of those pieces of equipment. That's not horrible, I don't think. Divide that by a rough acres number. We did just under 3,000 acres total this fall. You know, we had some wheat acres in there, so yeah, that seems reasonable to me. That's right around $5 an acre in fuel costs. $5 an acre. It's minimal. Not a big deal. Okay, what else do we have? Oh, let's talk about yields a little bit. And I'm not going to give you specific yields, but we can talk about compared to historics, right? So I have a really cool spreadsheet, and I'm not going to show you all of it, but high-level glance, that looks like this, and it's got all of our yield on it. I've got a chart that's got all of our yields from past years, and on this chart, so you'll see there's 3 different lines here. One of them is corn, one's beans, one's wheat, and there's a line that runs through it. That is a trend line. So I can actually track not only averages over the long term, 10-year or whatever, but I'm also looking at how our yields are increasing steadily over time, and I got a formula to calculate that. And so when I compare this year's corn yield to our trend line, and this is trend line starting in 1997, so this would be year number 27 of data, and we were about 4 bushels below what our trend line says it should be. So that to me is a touch disappointing. Now, we still had really good corn, and our trend line kind of jumped last year when we had really awesome corn. But to be within 4 bushels of that, I'm not too upset. Now, the other comparative there is you can go back and look at a 10-year average. So instead of how the yields are increasing, you just look at a flat, what is it for the last 10 years? And we were actually about 10.5 bushels better than our 10-year average. So that would dictate that, yeah, we had a pretty darn good corn year. Soybeans, however, is an even better picture when you look at that. So when I look at our trend line for soybeans over the last 27 years, we actually beat it by about 1/2 bushel. So we're basically right on where we were supposed to be, which is awesome. I'm thrilled with that. And then when I look at that 10-year average, the flat 10-year average, we actually were about 5.5 to 6 bushel better than our 10-year average on soybeans. So again, really good year for both crops. It was not last year. Last year was just phenomenal, outstanding, and we did not beat last year. However, it was not a bad year by any means, especially factoring in how dry we were early in the year and the dryness that we had then in September and just everything in between, the disease, the white mold in the beans, and all that kind of stuff. We still did pretty darn well. Even when I just look back at that chart and say, where did this year rank yield-wise compared to every other year that we've had or that I have records for, we were number 3. It was our number 3. It was our 3rd best corn year yield average, and it was our 3rd best soybean average yield. So both of those behind last year, and then 2016, believe it or not, was a phenomenal year for us. So nothing to complain about as far as production goes this year. On the grain side of stuff, I'm not going to tell you how many bushels that we harvested, but I can tell you this. We hauled 290 truckloads of corn out of the field. Now that's wet corn, not dry bushels. And roughly 100 semi-trucks of soybeans out of the fields. So a lot of trips, a lot of trucks, and the bins are basically full. We have 2 small bins out back full of wheat. We have 1 small bin out back full of corn. Our big bin is full of corn. In fact, we have the Phil and the crop insurance rep are out there right now pulling some core samples for vom testing. We'll get into that later. But he had to shovel enough to get in the door at the top because the bin is so full. So that bin is full. The smaller Sioux Cup bin is full of corn. The Butler bin out there is full of soybeans. The GSI dryer bin is so full we can't even drop the batch that's in the dryer at the top. The only one that's not full out here is the wet bin, and it is about 1/3 of the way full. And that's dry corn that we emptied out of the dryer and after we got done drying corn, put back in there. So that is good. We also have our grain set up at Berkey. We don't have any corn down here because we didn't raise any corn down there this year. But we have a bin full of wheat. We have 3 bins full of corn, and there is 1 5,000 bushel bin down there that we did not use this year. Just didn't have the production to do it without having corn. So we have lots of bushels to haul. Right now, at least in our area, the basis is horrible right now. Basically, the elevators are full. They don't want our crops right now, and they're encouraging people to store them until after the first of the year. So we're going to hold off as long as we can in order to capture. I mean, it's like 40 or 50 cents better in January than it is right now on corn and soybeans to just wait and store it. And so that's the advantage of having grain bins and being able to store this stuff, is that we can pick up a lot of carry in the market based on timing. Overall, we had a fantastic harvest. And as this video releases on Thanksgiving, we certainly have a lot to be thankful for around here, for the bountiful harvest, but also for minimal breakdowns, for good people here helping and working, Dad and Phil and Brock and everybody that helps us out. Certainly am thankful for that, and we appreciate it. And there is still a 9RX sitting in our driveway out there. I'm pretty thankful for that opportunity to have gotten to drive that. We're pretty blessed here and have some really nice equipment, and we're able to do things very efficiently for the operation and the setup that we have here. But yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. So there's our little harvest recap by the numbers. If you got any questions on that stuff, I'll try my best to answer stuff, I suppose. If I think of anything else interesting to share with you, I'll throw that on here a little bit later. We are working on some miscellaneous jobs these days. I should start cleaning some equipment up, but I'm not quite ready to do that just yet. We do have a little bit of tillage still to do, and we'll get to that, but it's a little greasy today after the half-inch of rain that we had yesterday, so we're not going to do that today. So we're probably going to take a boat and put it in our barns down to Berkey. I have a full truckload of corn coming on Monday. Seed shipping season is getting started, and so I need to get my seed warehouse ready to receive all of that grain. And I've got that gooseneck trailer that I bought in there. I want to try and move it, get it out of the main storage area, put it in my lean-to, but I got a boat in there, and I'm not going to use that boat until at least May, if not June, so we might as well get it out of here, put it in a barn somewhere else where it's out of the way. So I'm going to go and do that here this morning. And then we'll see what else we can find to do this afternoon. We've got a hydraulic hose on the 7520 that needs to be changed. We could work on that, or maybe I'll keep cleaning stuff out down there, something. I don't know. I am pretty sure the last time I took this boat out, I made the comment that I've never had to add air to these tires because they never leak. And then wouldn't you know it, I get a flat tire. So we're going to see if this will pump it up or not, and try and find what we got to leak. I'm sure we've got a nail or a screw or something that's causing this, so I brought my little plug kit. Let's see if we can figure that out. But we're going to take this down to Berkey. I should go through it a little bit and make sure that we get all the stuff out that we need, and we'll stuff it in the barn. Got it. It seems to be holding there. I'm sure that there is something leaking somewhere. I don't know. I don't see anything in the thread that I can see. We'll have to roll it a little bit. It's a very nice day out today, at least. All right, we got this ready. That tire's not leaking. I don't know why it went flat. There's no air. I can't hear anything. I can't see anything. It seems to be fine. So we're gonna park it in the barn. You guys remember that? Remember that tire I just put air in that was holding it just fine? I swear it was holding. I let it set for 45 minutes and it still was fine. It's not fine. It's not fine at all. The tread's gone, the tire's flat, and it ripped my fender off in the process. It's fantastic. At least I got a decent place along the side of the road. We can ditch the boat so we can go freaking get a tire and get the tools to take that off. Anybody want to buy a boat? Boats. Anyway, I ditched it in the side of the road. We're going to go back and get tools and look for a spare tire. I highly doubt I have a 14-inch rim tire, but I might have a 5-bolt pattern that would bolt on there and get it to where we need to go, and then we can fix it from there. Not what we're supposed to be doing today. Well, unfortunately, nobody stole it while it was sitting here. I found a tire. It's not exactly the right size, but it might work. It's the right rim bolt pattern, but it's a 15-inch tire. Those are 14, so it's going to be a little taller. Should get us to where we need to go. And we bought a couple jacks. We'll figure this out. I would be willing to bet that that's an original tire. I'm sure there's a date code somewhere. Be 20 years old. I did not run it long enough to wreck the rim. Good for me. 3502. Yeah, 35th week of 2002 that tire was made. Now, let's see if we can get this one on here. It'll be a little tricky. Oh yeah, gonna have to go up quite a bit. Good to go. Load her up, hook her up. Oh yeah, I gotta help her today. Anna came with me. She's home for Thanksgiving. I hate this boat. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. The other tire is working on blowing on me. It is not flat yet, but the tread's falling off. It's starting to. We are not far from Berkey. We are going to add some air, and we are going to limp this thing home. Or there. And then we're getting 2 new tires, it looks like. Oh, this sucks. I hate this boat. I hate it. I hate it. I aired that tire up. We made it about another 3 miles. We are 2.5 miles from our farm. It's flat. I can't go on. It won't hold any air. So, we ditched it in the ditch again. We're going to go to the farm down here, see if we have any more tires. And if not, at least we're close enough to Toledo now that we can take the spare that we've got in the bed, go get a new tire, bring it back, put it on a dang boat trailer. Friggin' this sucks. Ah. Look, I found another spare. Oh my gosh. This is the worst. The absolute worst. Not going to work. The bolt pattern is different. I mean, it's 5 bolt, but the spacing is wrong. Dang it. Keep looking. Found 2 more spares. Or, no, I don't know. Found 2 more tires that appear that they're going to work. So we're going to go back. We're going to try and change this other one. This is so dumb. Anybody want to buy a boat? For real. I kind of feel like Gavin Spore.
$20,000.
20,000 for the boat?
Yeah,
I'll take it in a heartbeat. If somebody wants to pay me 20,000, I'm negotiable from that number. Update. This is another 15-inch tire, not the 14-inch that was on there. This one I caught before it ripped the fender off, so it doesn't fit. And I don't have the right wrench to take the fender off. I have the right wrench just to change the tire. Back to the farm we go to get the right tools. I'm over it. We found a tire. Oh, we found a tire. It's been a day, guys. All right, so here's the fix. Obviously, what we couldn't, those other 2 that we found at our farm didn't work. Had wrong bolt spacing. Right pattern, wrong spacing. Didn't fit. So then I thought, well, we'll just go buy a tire, right? Well, the first place we went didn't have any. No 14-inch trailer tires. Went to another place. They had some. They had 2 specifically. I thought, well, we'll just get them both. They were outrageously expensive. It'd be $400 for 2 trailer tires for a boat trailer that I don't ever use. So, and the kicker to that was, well, we can't do it right now. You'll have to wait a little while. Okay, I don't have a little while. I got a boat trailer sitting on the side of the road. So, we grabbed some lunch because we were hungry. And then, in the meantime, while I was waiting on them to decide something, I called one of my seed customers that I have right down the road here. I said, hey, any chance you guys got any 5-bolt rim, 14-inch trailer tires? And like, well, we don't have any 14s, but we got a 15, but it's a really small center. I don't know if it's going to work. Sounds perfect. Let me try it. Ta-da! It's got to go 3.5 miles. That's it. All right. So, thank you to the neighboring seed dealer, or not dealer, customer. We're gonna go put this in the barn down there, and oh my gosh, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. I'm confident of that. I'm gonna take the 2 blown tires back with me because I have a tire guy. They can get me tires much cheaper than what those ones were, and we'll deal with this in June, right? June. We're gonna just leave it on blocks until June. That's what I think we're gonna do. We made it! We made it. Oh, that was ridiculous. We left at 10 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock. It took me 4 hours to get this boat here. That is just outrageous. All right. There it sits. Ah. It'll be fine for the winter. Okay, well, tire returned. We made it back. Brock cleaned up our shop a little bit for us. That was nice of you, Brock. Thank you. He got a hydraulic hose replaced on the 7520. Got some points changed on our chisel plow for the last 11 acres that we've got to finish up. We're in good shape. All right, I spent a little time cleaning up here. The goal is to make that trailer that's brand new and I don't want to leave set outside fit in here. So, first things first, we got to sell some crap. Anybody want some lawn chairs, patio chairs? I got 4 of them here. They're in decent shape. There's a fire pit outside. I'll throw in with the deal. Hit me up. Bar stools, a couple of decent ones. Those were really nice. They're a little chewed up, but they're decent. We got 3 sets of 2. I'll sell them all to you. Come on, let's go. Also, we've got a snowblower over here. I don't use this snowblower anymore. Haven't since we moved. This is real nice. It's in very good shape. I haven't even wore the paint off the blades hardly, just a little tiny bit. So, you know, this is in real great shape. Electric start, fires right up. It's a good deal. Somebody come and buy it from me. Hi. Can you say hi? All right, it is a little after 5, and family's coming in, so we're gonna go hang out with the family in here. Have a great Thanksgiving, everybody. We will see you probably Saturday morning, Friday. We'll make a video. Say hi, Brayson.
Hi.
Hi. All right. See you, everybody. One last thing before we wrap this up. Just got an email from Ben over at Farm Focused, and they're having a Black Friday sale. So if you need any Borderview Farms merchandise or any of your other favorite farm YouTubers, head on over to Farm Focused. Use the code, what's the code? Hold on. Farm Life. Code is Farm Life. Use that code, get 15% off your order on farmfocus.com. So link in the description, and I'll try to remember to put that code in there as well. That is good for Friday, Black Friday, and Saturday. So go check that out, please. Thank you.